So in today's car story, it's just like the title says. Just be careful what you ask for because you might just get it. So, oh my gosh, you guys, every time I hear that saying, I always think back to this story that I'm about to share with y'all. Y'all will know everyone has been in this class. Everyone. I don't care if you were in high school 40 years ago or if you're in high school now. Everybody has been in this class. You know, the class that you were warned about that you don't want from all your friends, all your peeps. It's hard. The teacher's mean. Yes, that class. And for me, that class was history. So I ended up in this history class. Let me tell you what I liked about it. What I liked about it was not in the main building of the school. It was actually in a smaller building away. You'd have to walk outside, which was nice on really great days to get some fresh air. It was in a smaller building, and there was 2 doors into the building. You know, you could go to the right, which had like an economics class and stuff, and then to the left was history, and that's where I was. Right outside the classroom, there was a huge, beautiful tree with a bench underneath it, so you could always just, you know, if you're running early to class, you could sit on that bench. It was usually open, and it was just real nice. The teacher, you guys, extremely smart, educated, a very southern woman, always dressed like a lady, never showed much skin. She was a very petite framed woman, very thin. She had like a bob, maybe even like shorter than that. Very, very thick hair, not a hair out of place, very thick. It had like curl to it. And she had a desk in the corner, but she always spoke from the podium up at the front of the class in the middle, always spoke from that. And her whole goal or point was, she even told us, she said she was going to give us her best. She expected our best, and her whole job was to prepare us for college. And that was what she was going to do. And that's how she ran her classroom. And she always referred to us by our last names, never our first. So on this particular day, I remember it was beautiful because everybody was in tank tops, t-shirts, shorts. And on this day, and this is another thing that never changes. You know, you have your class clowns, your rule followers, your athletes, you know, all the typical nerds, you know, all the typical, I guess, stereotypes. But so on this day, as class has started, she says to a student, let's just say, okay, let's say the student's name is Davis. Okay. And her name is Johnson. So she says to Davis, Davis, please see me after class. There is something I would like to discuss with you. And he immediately says, Johnson, anything you have to say to me, you can say in front of the entire class. And we're like, everybody in the classroom is like, did we just hear what we... Like, you know, everybody's listening and watching this unfold. And so she says the entire class, and he says the entire class. Whatever you have to say to me, you can just say in front of the entire class. Well, honey, she did. Next thing you know, she is saying, I would appreciate it if when you attended my class, you did not wear your short shorts to my classroom. She says, I do not care to see your male genitalia. And that's exactly how she said it. And you guys, oh my gosh, we were like, what? Like, you know, I mean, snickering, chuckling, laughing, like gasping. Oh my gosh, this is happening. I mean, it was like watching a ping pong tennis match. So then he says, don't you mean genitals? And oh my gosh. Okay, so then she says, she closes her eyes, first of all, for a second. And then she says, if you were properly educated, you would know that the correct pronunciation is male genitalia. And then she tells him, oh my gosh, all of us were dying. Then she tells him he can gather his things and he can go sit on that bench underneath the beautiful tree for the rest of the class period and talk to the squirrels. I mean, I don't care how many times I've told that story, how many times I remember that story. It always makes me chuckle. So the point of the story is, one, a good laugh, right? And there is a lesson in that, you know. It is true. Be careful what you ask for, because you just might get it and it may not be what you really want. So, and you know, one of the things that I learned from that, well, actually there was a few things, is that, you know, always, it's important to always listen to what other people have to say. But at the same time, don't let that form your judgment. Always make your own decisions about things, and always be open, and always give things a chance before you make a decision about them. I mean, she was hands down the best teacher I have ever had. I mean, she was just so knowledgeable. Just, oh, wow. What I wouldn't give to be able to sit back in her classroom. I mean, she cared. I mean, she really cared. And she was just so smart and so giving. And she was just the best teacher I have ever had. So anyway, I just thought I would share that with y'all. So I'll see you in the next video.